What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today we're going to be working on part of the shop renovation. And you're gonna keep asking me, what, you were just on the house, you're in the shop now. Yeah, today I'm gonna start, but I'm not gonna finish, and it's gonna be starting a very, very long process that I'll probably finish in the winter time or later this summer if I get the laundry room renovation and bathroom renovation done. And then in the closet. But anyways, today I'm going to start building the second wall. I'm going to basically build a wall all the way around the shop, right up against the wall that's there, the exterior wall. Because one, if you can see, the wall is built differently than you would normally build a wall. It's built on the short edge of the 2x6, the 2 part. And it's not, I mean, you can't see it, but the wall moves fairly easily, and it's pretty thin, and it will get hot in here in the summer. It's already pretty warm. I don't have an AC unit, but eventually I will. And even in the winter time, it gets pretty cold in here, and a lot of that heat and like AC gets, escaped through the roof. That's a different situation that I have to deal with. But right now, one of the reasons why I want to build this wall is because, one, it'll give me practice. Two, I have a TV that I need to put up. It's behind this rubber mat right here. It's it was given to me by my aunt because half the display is really dim and the other isn't. And it's just a TV for me to put out here and either listen to music or watch anything. Like I can hook like a Fire Stick or Apple TV up to it and then watch or listen to things while I'm working out here. And because eventually in this spot right here that I'm standing in, this will be where the exercise equipment is. And we have this futon couch thing out here. So I want this space to be kind of like the chill zone. And I have a whole plan for this space. But this wall is actually really important to put in, because if I put in this wall and I put in this back wall and this side wall here, I can then build the loft on top of it. And then I can start storing stuff up there, and then this space would be kind of like done, and I could actually start making my workbench area more complete. And if you can remember what it kind of used to look like in my past videos, there used to be some more cabinets here. I took all that out, mainly because I wanted to start doing this, and I didn't really need them anymore, and I was putting stuff in the house and keeping some of the stuff in here. Really just car stuff in here, and then everything else will be in the house, because I didn't really want to keep going back and forth to get supplies or whatever. So long story short, today we're going to be starting on that wall. I have, I think, everything I need. So we'll just see what it's like. And it's done. I really like it. I had Ellie come help me lift it up, as you saw in the time lapse. But this is for the TV, just some blocking. I am going to put plywood, probably 1/2 inch. I don't know if they have anything thinner. I'm not sure. I think 1/2 inch is totally fine. I think I probably don't even need to put this here, but just because it's for a TV, and later on I'll probably get like a nicer TV out here and some other stuff out here, I decided to just go with some blocking there. I had a 2x6 that I was probably going to use for blocking laying around, so I just decided to put it there. So that is halfway in between the wall, and just kind of like, I just lifted my arms up kind of where I thought the TV would go, like the center of the TV itself, the screen, and I thought, that's good enough. And I think it is. I think it's high enough where it's not gonna, I don't think it'll be too high. And especially like a bigger TV, because I think that the TV I have is about like 48, 52. It's not 55. It's like an oddball size because it's pretty old. But if I get anything bigger, I think if I did if I put it any higher, then I think it would have been too big. So I think that's fine. The ram set, the thing that shoots the nails into the concrete, amazing. I love it. It's so cool. I messed up on a couple of them just because it didn't fire. The first one it didn't fire right because I didn't do it right, and then a couple others didn't. Just kind of, I don't know. But I did 2 in that little section, and then 1 in each space, and then 2 on this side, just because it's. Honestly, I don't know why I did 2. I should have just stuck with 1, but I think 2 is good. Whatever. Yeah, and then over here, I decided to kind of work around this a little bit. I did forget to account for that when I built the wall on the ground, but I fixed it. And I put it up here. And yeah, I like it. I think it'll be set up good enough to have half-inch drywall. And I did do a double top plate in case I wanted to enclose like the bottom, aka the ceiling, under this space and that space, because I'm not quite sure yet. And I think just future-proofing is fine, and it's just a couple more 2x4s. So with that being said, I think that'll be it for this little section. I think I'm going to get some wiring. I think I do want to run some electrical over here for the TV, and maybe a couple other places. I'm not quite sure where the box is going to be at, but I need to get some more boxes anyways. And then wiring, and then I can practice wiring, to be honest. So I can figure out how I want to do it when it comes to the laundry room and bathroom. And I'm finally done with this wall. It took longer than I thought, but it also went by extremely fast because I finished it yesterday. I don't know why I'm hiding it from you. You kind of already saw it. Boom. That's what it looks like. So first, I just want to say there are a few things that I would do differently, and few things that I would do differently when I do the rest of the walls. So I have this plywood that I got from Home Depot, and it's not great plywood. I believe it's half an inch, and it's not great like quality. There's a lot of like defects in the wood, so it's not super smooth. But I don't really care about that as much. And when I put it on the wall, there were going to be joints because you're not going to butt them up right up against each other. And even then, there's going to be a little crack there, right? Well, you can do a couple different things. I did drywall mud and tape, which is because I had some experience with it and because it wasn't going to, I don't know. I didn't think about it hard enough, and I should have done wood filler. And I did look it up. You can use drywall mud and tape on plywood. You just need to prime it first. So I did a coat of primer, as you saw in the clips. And there's a few other things that I sorry. I would do the wood filler next time, because doing the priming, the mudding and taping, sanding, mudding, sanding, and then doing the paint, it was a lot of work. And there are bits and pieces where like the wood itself comes through, which is a little rough. You can see some grain and stuff, and then it's a little smooth with a bit of texture from the tape being sanded and it coming through. Like this spot right here, there's a little spot right there, and it's not that big of a deal. It's just it's a shop wall. This is a wall that's in the shop, so it's gonna get damaged, scuffed up. But I really like the paint. It's a satin, ultra pure white, the base color white. I think it looks awesome. It dried really fast and it hides extremely well. I don't know if it's because I did a skim coat and I also have primer. I use primer. And I think it looks amazing. I just can't stop looking at it and touching it, and I just think it looks awesome. Now the TV, I think I mentioned it, but this TV came from my aunt because half of the display is dim, and I'm not gonna keep it out here forever. This isn't gonna be the TV that's gonna be out here in like 5 years. I'm hoping to actually replace the TV that we have in our living room with like an LG or a Vizio. I would probably go with Vizio, which is what this TV is. And I'll bring that one out here, which is 55 inches, and it's a little bit bigger than this one. The other thing is, I plan on putting a speaker here and here, and like hooking it up to like a sound system type deal, so that I can listen to music and whatever, and I can also attach it to the TV so I can play through. And those speakers are right here, which were left here from the previous owner, so I was like, might as well use it. The other thing is, back here, I'm gonna explain to you why I did. Well, you know what? Freak it. I put a double gang outlet box here because I figured I will probably be ending up putting other stuff behind the TV or near the TV, and it'll need an outlet. And one day, if I choose to bring like an Xbox out here or do some sort of party thing out here and hang out in this spot, I can hook multiple things up, and I don't have to have cables being going down. Now, I could have done it the other way, where I could have just attached it to an outlet down here through like a tube through the wall, but I just chose to do it this way. And I actually hooked it all up on a GFCI outlet, which is that one, because those are relatively close to the ground, and I will put a rubber baseboard along the bottom like you see in commercial buildings. So then if water gets down on the ground and stuff, it won't damage, and like it won't sit on the wall or underneath the wall. And I made sure the sill gasket, that pink foam, went up along the side of the pressure treated 2x4, and then the plywood went on top of that. So which I still left a little gap, so it wouldn't really be sitting in water unless it was a pretty big pool. I think it looks amazing. I put 3 outlets down here because eventually we will have the exercise equipment out here. We have an elliptical and exercise bike. And I don't know if we're going to have it facing the TV or facing out the garage door. But either way, we'll be able to kind of attach it to whatever outlet that works. And I put this one over here really mainly because I'm going to have that shop fan, that one over here. So when we're doing the exercise equipment, we can have a fan blowing right on us, or just a shop fan in general. And I think it looks amazing. Now, really quickly to mention the rest of the plans for this area is I'm going to need to do this to all the walls in the shop. But realistically, I really just need to do it to this wall, so above the garage door and beside it right about here, and then this area and this area. And then that way I can build a loft up here. And then I have to build a little column, like a little pillar thing from here down to the ground. And then I can build the loft, and this will be covered. Then I can get the like curtain type thing. I want to have like a curtain rail like you see in like hospitals and some certain like dentist office. It's just a curtain on like a real little rail. Obviously it's not going to have the same pattern, but it's going to be that idea. So then I can basically shut this off, so when I do anything dusty or dirty, it won't get everything in there dusty and dirty, especially like the exercise equipment. And we can move the exercise equipment out of the way when we want to use the space for other things. I do have this bench, which I am convinced is a futon. And I'm going to have that over here so we can sit and watch TV, or have the TV on just on. I can have a Roku or a Fire Stick or anything like that. And then I can hook it up to the internet and just stream something, music, whatever. That's the idea. And really, eventually I'll also have a router out here because I don't get good signal out here because it's an all metal building and the metal garage doors. So if I get a router out here and I attach it to my router inside, it's basically going to be a repeater, and it's going to send the signal out more into here, obviously, and a little bit off the property a little bit. And I'll have really good signal, and I can wire it up directly. But that'll be later down the road because I'll actually have to bury the Ethernet cable because I'm not going to string it up. Because that would just be... Because I'm going to have to do it anyways, right? I'm going to have to bury it anyways. The other thing is this... I have a dartboard, and I might put it here. I might put it on this spot right here. I don't know what I really want to do with it. I just know I need a space for it because it's just sitting in storage right now. But other than that, like, the rest of the shop is going to kind of stay the same. This area is going to be redone completely, but it's going to be my work area, my workbench and stuff. This area is going to be, that far corner is going to be the woodworking area where all my lumber supplies are at. And then this is going to be lawn and garden. And then I'm hoping all of that won't be there. It'll be up in the loft when that's time. And I'm so happy that I did this. And I did the plywood, the paint, all that in one day. Took all day long. But I'm glad I did it. And then the wall itself, the framing, and I think some of the wiring took one day, and I think I did the installation another day. So I think it took 2 days or 3, roughly. Probably I would just want to say 3 days to do this one wall. Now, when I do the rest, I'll probably actually do all of it at the same time. Like, I'll frame all the walls, then I'll do all the electrical, then I'll do all of this, and then all of that, instead of doing one section at a time, because this isn't going to work out, especially when I paint it, and I have to freaking clean the paint sprayer, which is amazing. Not the cleaning part, but the spraying part. It did such a good job. I think just one coat besides the primer. And the primer I rolled on. Honestly, I think it did really, really, really good, and I'm so excited. And I'm happy that I didn't texture it. I'm good with this kind of like, this pattern that you see, right? You kind of see that pattern. I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. I did try to cover a lot of that up with the skim coat of the drywall mud, but honestly, I'm fine with the way it looks. I just didn't want huge, like there's 2 little spots here that are like knots that are like a layer deep, and I didn't want that. I wanted like more, kind of like a more smooth surface. So that's what happened. But in general, I mean, some of the tape is popping up, but I mean, this is like the second job I did with drywall stuff, and I'm glad I practiced it a little bit more. But with that being said, that's it for today's video. It's a long one, so I apologize, but I'm also really happy that I got all of this done in a relatively short amount of time. Anyways, if you liked today's video, smack the like button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Help me a lot, and turn on post notifications, and I will see you guys all next time.